Good Wednesday morning to you, love bugs. I have to tell you something funny. The video that I posted yesterday, look at Lucy looking at me. Anyway, the video that I posted yesterday where it came right into Sunday and I just started talking, the reason why it just came in like that without like no pause in the beginning or I do my usual greeting. The reason why is because that day, I don't know, I just had a lot of excitement in me, and I said in a real high-pitched voice, I said, "Good morning, love bugs," like that. But it was such a high, because you know when you get excitement, like your voice will go up and it is higher, and it sounded like I was like screeching or screaming or something, because I put that segment on my Windows Movie Maker so that I could edit it, and as soon as I clicked hit and it went, "Good morning, love bugs," but a whole lot louder, it actually scared me, and I was like, whoa, if I put this out there, I will scare the bejeebies out of my friends, so I cannot do that. So I had to cut the greeting out. Anyhow, look at this. We got running doggies to the door. And there's Lucy running. Can you tell? Fog again. Because we're having up and down weather. You want to see what fog looks like in a spotlight there? Well, you got the light there, but see all the misty stuff? That's what fog looks like in a light. We get... Okay, I'm going to wait till I move into the light so you can see. Let me just turn on a light. You know why we get lots of fog around here? In the fall, we'll even get it in the winter, and we get it in the spring. And the reason is because we get up and down weather. You get weather and it's really chilly, and then the temperatures will go up. And then all of a sudden, then cold weather will move back in really fast. The last 3 days, I want to say first the last 2 days have been in like the 40s. And the day or the 2 days before that, it was in the 50s. And before that, we were in that real cold Arctic blast of cold weather that the whole country experienced. So we had that really cold weather, and then it super duper warmed up. And now it's going to start getting cold again. So, anyhow, because of that, when you get the changing of hot to cold, you get fog. At least around here you do. So, I wanted to tell you about, the intro to my video, why I just, started talking yesterday. Then I wanted to share with everybody, my son called me, well, not me, my husband answered the phone, but he called us last night. I want to say it was about 7:30, and they had just gotten back from the doctor. I guess they went there after work. To, confirm the pregnancy and everything. And they have a due date, September 13th. And considering this is January, and January then through September, September is the 9th month. So my daughter-in-law is just newly pregnant. Anyway, I need to mop my floors today really bad. I needed to mop them yesterday, but we had rain all day, and it's still wet outside. It's supposed to be a sunny day today after the fog moves away. But the ground's not going to get hard until probably starting tonight into tomorrow, because it's supposed to start getting colder again. And because it's going to get colder again, I got to go out and go get wood. So as soon as the sun's up, that's one thing I'm going to do. Go get wood. I will sweep my floors again. I just did it the other day, but I'll do it again. I got some vacuuming to do. And what else? I got to go get wood. And I did a little bit of light cleaning. Yesterday, my friend Kim called. And we were on the phone for the longest time. And then the day before, I was on the phone with my mother and other relatives, talking about Joe and Melissa expecting a baby. So anyway, the last 2 days the phone has kind of like interrupted my day in getting things done. So anyhow, we got girly toys on the floor. So I got to do a little bit of light cleaning, like I said, and if I can get this light cleaning done today, which I would like to do. Here's another bear. See, my dogs are, that's why they're my little kids. They got their toys all over the place. If I can get all my light cleaning done today, I am going to, it's going to get dark. Passing through my dining room, sorry. But anyhow, it's 7 o'clock. Let's put it this way. I got to go upstairs and go get dressed and start getting my day going. If I can get all my light cleaning done that I need to do today, I'm hoping I want to make some more cranberry orange scones, and maybe I'll show you that. And then if I have time, because then I don't know what time that's going to be this afternoon, I might try making a couple loaves of bread. And in the meantime, while I'm brushing my teeth and getting myself ready for the day, I got to figure out what I'm having for dinner today, because I don't know. I don't know. Haven't been giving it a thought. Well, it's time to get the mud boots on. The girlies are already outside waiting for me. It's still very foggy out. Can you see out there? Very foggy. The sun's supposed to come out today, and I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I got to go get my jacket on. And yes, I have a bandana on. And let me just say straight away, on my bandana, I used to wear bandanas all the time. And even on my other channel. And then people started to ask me now and then. They were like, Sandy, why do you wear bandanas? Because, for example, I think I've shown up in my closet when I've, done like my little closet tour and things like that. I have a whole box full of all kinds of colors of bandanas and everything. Because I wear bandanas, well, I used to wear them all the time. And then people started, I guess kind of complaining about it. Why do you wear bandanas? And I said, I wear bandanas because I'm cleaning. I'm always cleaning. Or I'm outside doing yard work. I'm cutting my grass. I'm trimming bushes back. I'm weeding. I'm doing stuff. And the thing is, when Sandy's cleaning, she wants her hair out of her face. So, anyhow, it's been a while since I've had my bandanas. When I've been wearing them over the last year, I've been like rolling them where, I wear it like, a hair tie thing where I pull it back. But anyway, I'm back in bandana mode. So, if you start seeing me from time to time wearing my bandanas, that's why. I'm tired of pulling my hair back in a ponytail. Because I pull it back in a ponytail, and really, there's different ways to wear ponytails, and I'll wear my hair in dressy ponytails like when I go out. Not like grocery shopping out or whatever. But like if I'm running to the grocery store, if I'm cleaning or whatever, and I just pull it back, you're just pulling it back. And, it gets a little bit boring looking. So, anyway, so I can have my hair down, but yet keep my hair out of my face, I'm going back to my bandanas. And why? Because I like bandanas. So I've got my bread has risen. I'm making Tuscan Style Bread. So, let's get this over here. And then after I get this on the pan so it can be risen again, I'm going to make some scones. And I've got my sweet Italian sausage in the microwave because I'm making Sam's Special today for dinner. I'll tell you what that is in a little bit. Okay, I've got one bread I'm going to leave plain, and the other one I'm going to put this 7 seeds on top of my crust. And I'm not going to put water or egg wash or anything like that, because if you just sprinkle it on and just give it a little pushy wushy into the dough, it will stay all on its own. And as the dough rises, it's going to, the dough will come up around the seed and all of that. So anyhow, there we go. And here's my sausage for my Sam's Special. What is Sam's Special? I will tell you what Sam's Special is. Many years ago, I think I was still living in Ohio, and Joe and Carly might have been little babies, or just Josiah was a little baby. Oh, I don't know. Could you see me there? Anyhow, I was watching on our PBS channel, different cooking shows. There's this one lady that has a cooking show, and she was talking about how she used to work in an Italian deli. And the Italian guy that owned the deli, and he had the thick Italian accent and so forth, he said to her one day for her to get a pound of his sausage because he was going to make his special. And the guy's name was Sam. So that's where she gets the name Sam Special. And the special is you just take pasta. Let's see, which kind of pasta will we have today? I don't know, you can do any. I think I'll do this. But you could do any kind of pasta. You could do rigatoni, you could do ziti, you could do anything. Bow ties, whatever you want. Anyhow, you cook the pasta. You have to fry the sausage. It needs to be ground sausage. You fry it and, break it up into pieces and everything. Then once the pasta's cooked and you drain everything, then I think she put a little bit of chicken stock, maybe like about half of a cup of chicken stock into the pasta, and she would let that cook for just a few minutes. Because, some of that's going to evaporate out, but it's giving flavor, you know what I'm saying, to the pasta. And then when you let some of that evaporate out, where it's almost all evaporated out, then you take a couple eggs, not like two. I think she used, I don't know, I think maybe like 4 or 5 eggs. And she just, took them and cracked them into a bowl, whipped them up, and then put it into the pasta while it's still on the burner cooking, but you don't want it up real high. And then she would toss real fast the pasta in with the egg, and the egg would start cooking. It gets kind of like scrambled, And then she took her drained sausage and put that in, and then took grated Parmesan cheese and put that in, and then, just tossed it a little bit more and quickly pulled it off of the burner. Sam's Special. So anyway, that's what we're having today. Sam's Special and some bread. And now what I'm getting ready to do, it's 1:31. Before I pull out the vacuum cleaner, I'm going to make some more scones. So anyway, I will bring you around for that too. Okay, so let's do the scones. And what you need is 10 tablespoons of butter. This is a double recipe. Okay, so you know what? I'm not going to give it to you in the double recipe terms. I will give it to you if you're just going to do one recipe. But one recipe only gives you 8 scones. That's why I'm doubling mine, because I'm going to put some in the freezer. So one single recipe, here's what it is. It's 1 3/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cups of sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 5 tablespoons of cut up chilled butter, 6 tablespoons of buttermilk, 1 egg, 1/2 cup of cranberries, 1/3 cup of white chocolate chips, and if you want to put some raw sugar on for dusting, you can do that. We're also going to need for the single recipe, you need 1/2 teaspoon of orange flavoring, So when I'm doubling this, you're going to see me put in a whole teaspoon because I'm doing a double recipe, like I said, because I want to put some in the freezer. And we're going to need the zest of an orange. Okay, so I've used my pastry blender, and then towards the end there, because I like to get the chilled butter really infused in there with just little chunks of butter. I don't like big chunks because I find that when it's baking, it doesn't bake uniformly. So I get my fingers in here and I break, you know, some of it up. So the next thing that needs to go in, and hold on a second because I got to dry my hands off. Okay, so for a single recipe, you need 1/4 cup of sugar. Since I'm doubling it, I need 1/2 cup. So we need that. We need, for a single recipe, let me put you down there, we need 2½ teaspoons. So obviously I need 5 teaspoons of baking powder. Whoops, that didn't even go in there all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need, a single recipe again is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So Sandy needs 1 teaspoon of salt. There we go. And then we need, for a single recipe, 6 tablespoons of buttermilk. And 6 tablespoons of buttermilk is a little over 3/4 cup, just barely over that. So like if you were doubling the recipe and you don't want to take your tablespoons and measure it out, that's what it is. So before I add that, I'm just going to give this a little zhuzh with my fingers. Then I need to put the milk in, and I need to hurry up and get the eggs in and to get the zest of the orange in, and then I'm going to start mixing it. Okay, I've got my zest of an orange. I got to put you back down here for a minute. And then, again, because I'm doing a double recipe of this, I'm putting in 1 teaspoon. For a single recipe, I do 1/2 teaspoon of orange extract, just to give it a little bit more of an orangey flavor. The zest helps it, but it's better to have the extract in there too. Then, for a single recipe, we need 1/2 cup of cranberries, dried cranberries. So obviously I'm going to be using 1 cup, and we need 2/3 cup of white chocolate chips, so I'll be doing 2/3 cup. Okay, this is my double recipe of scone dough, and I'm going to roll it a little bit in some flour because the dough is going to be a little sticky, and that's what you want because you want these scones to be nice and moist. So I'm going to get it in my little ball, and I'm going to divide the dough in half like so. Voila! And then we're going to concentrate on this one. We're going to pat this into a circle that's probably about 1/2 inch thick. So just fan it out. Come around in your circles, just like that. And when you get it like that, you want to take a knife, or I just use my pizza cutter, and you're going to cut in half. You're going to cut in half. Whoops. Again. Then you're going to, it's just like a pizza, and then you're going to cut those quarters in half, and it's going to look just like a pizza. Like so. Then you want to use your cookie tray that's either been sprayed, or you can use parchment paper. And you just take your little triangles like so, and I do them every other way, meaning like this, so I can get more onto a cookie sheet. Okay, when I'm doing a double recipe, I'm not going to try to squish. I mean, I could have put them a little bit closer. I would have had a little bit more room. I have a little bit more room, like I could put a couple more scones over there. But the thing is, you're not going to have enough room to put the other 8 on there, so you might as well you're going to have to get another cookie sheet anyway. So I just got them on separate cookie sheets. You turn your oven up to 400 degrees, and you're going to put these in your 400 degree oven for like 13 minutes. The recipe says, 13 minutes to 16 minutes. I find with my oven at 13 minutes, you're going to know that they're done. You're going to see their little golden brown around the edges at the bottom. Pull them out. Then what I do is I take my orange, because I've zested my orange. I cut my orange in half, and I get the juice, and with a medium to a large orange, that would be enough to do like 2 recipes. Really, if you're only doing 1 recipe, you really need half of an orange. But these are big, humongous jumbo oranges. And those, I definitely only need half of that, probably, to make my glaze. And all it is, you just make your typical glaze, where you just, instead of, doing powdered sugar with some milk, and some people put butter, but I don't. I just do the powdered sugar with like a little bit of milk, like on other kinds of things that I'm glazing. So I'm obviously omitting my milk, and I'm using the orange juice. So I just put my juice in, and I start out with a couple cups of confectioner sugar, and get it to the consistency that I want it. And then I pour the glaze over, drizzle it over the scones after they've been completely cooled. And even though you glaze these and you want to put them in the freezer, you can still do that. Some people, if they're going to freeze them, they don't want to glaze them. They want to glaze them when they come out of the freezer. It's your choice. Do whatever you want to. I'm over here setting the timer for my scones. Okay, that's got to go for 13 minutes. I don't want to do the 2-rack deal and then you got to switch them out halfway through the time. I could do that, but I don't want to. But yeah, that's got to go for 13 minutes. Then those got to go for 13 minutes. So that's 26 minutes, and that better go by fast, because look at my bread. I mean, my bread has really, really risen. I'm going to wait and see what this looks like after this 13 minutes, and I might have to pull these off of the oven while the last of the scones are baking. But I can't wait. I will freeze this one that has no seeds and this one that has the seeds. I don't know why I didn't cover it. I think because I was talking about doing the scones and I forgot to do it. But anyway, it's still going to be okay. But this is the one we're going to have this for dinner today. Come on in, you. We need to get Ellie. Look. It is 3:09. Hang on. Ellie! Ellie, come on! Anyway, they said the sun would be out today. It's not out today, and I'm glad I had my mud boots on when I went out to go get wood. I'm not waiting for her, because that ground is so wet and saturated, and I was going squish, squish, squish. We're supposed to have a cold front move in here, one of those Arctic blasts, just not real cold like the last time. And I hope that it comes, because the last time that we had it, it froze that ground up. Because my poor floors need to be mopped. I swept them. I just got done doing that. I got to go in my bathroom and clean it. I tidied it up yesterday with like Windex, but I got to use the bleach stuff today to get it nice and clean. And I cleaned my laundry room, got that all done, and it looks nice and shiny in there. And let's see. Oh, before I show you here the counter, let's go in here for a moment, because I have to turn lights on. Do we see anything that's different? Do we see anything different? I'll show you what's different. Look. This is the first time, and I can't tell you how long, that I have not had my television on. Now, usually, once you know, November gets here, they start showing all the Christmas movies. I turn the Hallmark channel on and I leave it on all day till my husband gets home, and then after dinner, you know, he changes the channel. I leave it on Fox News Channel because that's the news channel that I watch, and I leave my television on mute. Because I leave it on because as I'm passing by, in case if there was like a news breaking story or something, I just got to turn my volume up because I like to keep up with current events if I can. But anyway, I've been, you know, lollygagging on doing that. I've just had, like, I don't know, other movies and things like that on, even though I'm not watching it. See, that's the thing. I don't watch TV during the day because I'm about my house doing stuff or running out and doing things. So anyway, yeah, I just thought that was a nice accomplishment today, and maybe I should see if I can leave that TV off a little bit more often. My scones are glazed. Now they need to finish cooling down. Half are going to go in the freezer. Here's my first load of It's my first loaf, not load, loaf of Tuscan bread. I got 15 minutes on the other one. I just put nice clean water in my sink, got a new clean washcloth and a clean rag to start shining up all of my appliances. And yes, I have found, especially with stainless steel, and even like the black, like if you get like grease or anything on there, you can't really use the washcloth that you've been using and like a towel that you, like even if you took it out earlier today, you've been drying things with it, and sometimes it, you know, if it's been touching something else, it'll streak everything. It's like everything has to be clean, like brand new clean. So anyhow, I've been shining up my appliances, except I haven't done that one yet because I just grabbed the camera. But everything else is done. I'm going to do that. I got to do my kitchen. I mean, not my kitchen, my bathroom. I think I'm going to pull out the vacuum cleaner. And then that's it for me today. I've been in this kitchen all day. And you, my little love bugs, I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. And hopefully the sun will be out tomorrow. It'd be nice if it was.